26 of the How Can I Keep From Singing challenge. And we're cooking towards that end. It's pretty amazing what this journey has been. So my name is Dan Roeder. I am a composer, performer, and educator, and also the Chief Academic Officer of the David Z Foundation. And I'm joined here by my co-pilot for this challenge.
Hello, Mrs. Pixel is here. I am flying right alongside you, and we are just about almost finished with this challenge. I cannot believe how far we've made it.
I know.
I've grown so much during this time, and I'm already just imagining how is this going to end.
Well, I'm glad you asked because it is going to end with your own arrangement of the Trials of a Pair. Oh, and I'm still laggy. Good thing it's all going to be on your Bandlab today. So the plan for today is we're going to just do some warm-up. We'll do some breathing and vocal warm-ups. And then we're going to just review a bit of the Laban that we have put a bookmark in for the last few days as we've been learning more about Bandlab and how to use that. If you would like to join us in this challenge, you certainly still can. It is day 26 for us, but it could be day 1 for you. And the way it works is you can go to this little QR code. If you screenshot it, if you're on a screen that you can take a screenshot of, you force press that. It'll take you to the link.
QR code. I'm
There you
gonna let it shine.
Yeah.
Lady Rocket is watching us in the chat.
Yay! Lady Rocket! Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you here, Lady Rocket. Happy birthday, by the way. We did, Donna and I did a live stream where we were working on the Formula One song, and we did a quick birthday song for you. So you'll have to check that out. But hi, Lady Rocket. Great to have you. But if you folks watching would like to join us in this challenge, it is a free challenge. There's a community that you can go to. It is called nas.io /keep singing. I got to share my / knowledge with somebody yesterday, Mrs. Pixel.
Oh, fancy.
And just say like, hey, that's actually a /. And they're like, you're right. I don't know. It's the little things, right? It's the little things in life. All right. So there's how you can join the challenge. And then you can also, of course, use the QR code if you are QR code trained. So we would love to have you in the challenge. And the more the merrier. I love how you, that's kind of what your pitch is for it, Mrs. Pixel, is it really is. We're building a community of singers from beginner to advanced, and from somebody that just wants to get more experience for singing karaoke or like shower singing, all the way up to people that want to do this for a living and maybe sing in opera or musical theater or as a songwriter, singer-songwriter, an artist. So this community is for all of us. And we're just going to keep this on the screen for most of today because we're coasting to the end of this 30-day challenge. And I actually didn't even know Mrs. Pixel on day 1 of the challenge. And so I put out a call and just said, hey, if anyone would like to join in the studio, you're certainly welcome to. And she did. And then she's been here every day since.
So there, and I was never going to leave. And... I just stuck to this challenge like glue. Mostly, selfish reasons. I need to improve. I'll admit it.
Well, and it's really upped your karaoke game. So let's talk about that for a second before we get into
my holistic game, my karaoke game, my self-confidence. It's all combined.
Yeah, but can you tell us a little bit about karaoke before we start our warm-up?
Karaoke, please do join us Sunday for a little bit of parody and karaoke combination. Talk your game, sing your game, hang out, get some pointers, win some prizes. The best performance, the worst performance, either one gets a prize. And you could download this fantastic track through this little QR code here and make that little frog smile. It's just 69 cents. We would appreciate it. Really supports our community.
That's a frog. I thought that was a pear this whole time.
Frog/pear. You kind of can't tell because we have a hat on, but it is a pear. frog pear.
Frog.
Pepe
It's
as a
a
pear.
pear. Pepe the pear
Pepe,
frog. Okay.
but a
Got it.
pear.
Got it.
Yeah,
Now I'm on it. Now I'm on
that's
it.
the
Okay.
meme. That's actually just the meme, Pepe, but it's a pear. There you go.
I love it.
Meme
Okay.
coin on Solana. Done.
Yeah.
And
Done. Yeah, Dunskies. Okay, so again, this is something that we want to do after this challenge is over. Is just building this practice of daily singing, of daily warming up, and then just a community of people that are continually making each other better. So that's the dream. So let's go ahead and just start our warm up for today. I'm gonna move my mic for now. You can still hear me, right? Ish
ooh,
is
that's really low this time.
really
A little too
whoa.
low.
Okay, all right. Maybe
Little
I'll have to be better about spatial awareness and not like run into the mic. Okay. All right. So just start finding your space. Shifting your hips. This is honestly where we carry a lot of tension. Our hips, our shoulders, our necks, our jaws, our faces. Very often our rib cage too. A lot of times we walk around a little more sunken in than our body naturally wants to be. So just start thinking tall. Think tall. Don't stand up straight. Stand up tall. Okay, and like thinking that spine continues out the top of your head, and your tailbone is connected to the floor. So we're thinking of that beautiful heaven and earth. So get some stretching in. The mic is weird because it's making me disappear like a little bit. That's okay. This is like trippy. All right, do some shoulder rolls. I like to do a nice hip opener of, going from this just side to side to a figure eight or an infinity symbol. I've been thinking a lot about infinity lately, to infinity and beyond, right? So you can another good hip opener to kind of move on past that infinity symbol is just like you're walking over a gate or just stepping over a gate. That's going to really open up your hips. And I have now 20-year-old hip injury that I'm still working through. And that's why I run, actually, because every time I run, it just kind of opens things up and makes it feel livable. But it's just that feeling of going on in years, and you get the more crickety cracks, but the more we move our body and the more we bring our whole self into everything we're doing, the better it's going to feel holistically. So let's start with actually our balloon breath today. First, imagine that you have this girdle or inner tube of intercostal muscles all the way around you. You don't have to imagine the muscles because you have them, but imagine that is an inner tube. And just something that you're breathing in every direction. We often think of ourselves when we're breathing, our stomach goes out, but really it's our sides and our back as well, all the way around us every time we breathe out. So we can do this Bartiniev exercise of the X's and O's, just kind of getting that feeling. Here, I'm just going to show you just a second. So we have the X and then the O. So that's the kind of openness that we want. And breathe out, and then make a big gesture, and then breathe into your fist. And then breathe out as long as you can. When you breathe back in, just remind yourself that you're expanding in all directions, and then breathe into your fist. Now take your time with this. We want to have that exhale be as long as possible, but if you start getting dizzy or lightheaded, that's a signal that your body's saying like, "Hey, let's easy turbo, take it easy, tiger." So just when you feel that need to inhale, give a quick pulse and then take another inhale. So So you can keep taking breaths. A few years ago, I was doing that so much that I could actually exhale for nearly a minute, which was kind of mind blowing. And it's because it's that practice makes progress, and what we're doing is we're building lung capacity. But you just have to be aware of what that exchange of breath is. Whenever our exhale is longer than our inhale, it's kind of tips our central nervous system into this reset, into like, all right, So that's where we do a lot of these exercises and breathing to build lung capacity as a singer, because we want to be singing musically. We want to be thinking in phrases and really give that energy all the way to the end of a phrase. So take one last breath. And another thing that you can do as you're building this daily practice is you can kind of open the aperture that you're breathing into. Like close, that's going to be the most resistance. We have, time under tension is going to build that capacity. And just be aware that we're not building a muscle. Our lungs are tissues. they're sacs, and they are surrounded by muscles, and that's what helps us breathe. And that's why we have to, really get that deep belly inhale, and then elongate our exhale as much as we can so that we can be singing on the breath. Okay. All right. So let's actually just move on into our first vocal warm up. A nice yaw. Open up that yawn space. Yaw. Who am I going to talk about, Mrs. Pixel?
I don't know.
I don't know. It might be Julia Childs, right? So Julia Childs, yeah. Find your Julia. There's actually a checkpoint. Checkpoint 5, I think, is in the challenge. Is called Find Your Julia. And so Julia Childs has this really rich and pure vowel that is so open. Or another reference that some folks might understand of our generation is the movie Mrs. Doubtfire, where Robin Williams like steps out of the fridge and he's like, "Hello," It's that we want that openness and back. You can think of it as like Pac-Man mouth, like, you want that, like you have. Your mouth is on a hinge and you can open up all the way. Or even like a Beetlejuice. I know there's a creature in Beetlejuice that's kind of in the air again. But whatever you have to think, to just think of this openness and back, like a cavernous cathedral inside the back of your mouth, where we just have that kind of a tickle. That's how you can kind of get to know your soft palate, is look for that tickle when you're breathing in. And especially when you have to do a quick inhale, that's why we've been practicing the trapdoor breath as well, where we have just that flood of air come in. That's our soft palate. And so another way to find it is just that yawn space. Imagine you're yawning. Oh, just yawn. Your yawning is kind of contagious. I was thinking I'm going to pretend to yawn, and then I yawned. So, yaw, 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 right? Yaw, 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 yaw. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And if it gets too low, you can either go up an octave or drop out. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 All right. Let's do a nice, easy exercise to get the air going. Pa 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 pa, pa 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 pa. We want to be right on the front edge of that beat. Pa 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 pa, 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 pa 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 pa. And sometimes as we go higher, in to get yourself not like reaching for notes, see what it does to my neck, kind of compresses everything. We actually want to ground in to high notes. We want to open up, think that tallness, right? So something you can do is just think like a gesture, some kind of kinesthetic gesture. Like I like to think of throwing a frisbee or pulling taffy out of your sternum, or like a little roller coaster, like a whoo, right? Pa 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 pa. All right, name that note. Name that note, Mrs. Pixel.
B.
No, that was a C sharp.
I know. I was just making a joke. That was me being funny.
Oh,
No.
oh, I see.
Oh yeah.
No, it's funny. Yesterday, you're like, "Is that a C?" I'm like, "Nah, it's B flat." So you're like, "Let's be conservative." No, that was a C sharp, a whole step higher. All right, that's just. There's no reason that you have to name a note. It's just kind of fun.
It is fun
All
when
right.
you know when you know.
When you, yeah, if you know, you know. All right, this one is
Right?
"Oh How I Love to Sing," and we're gonna do it like we're gonna find our Julia. Oh, how I love to sing. Just say it. Oh, how I love to sing. So the word love, the vowel is what we have to modify often as a singer. And like if you say the word love, if we were just talking about I love you, love, it's kind of swallowed. It's a really weird kind of swallowed vowel, right? Like the uh. So we want to change it to love. LAHV. Love. Like I lava you, like the song. Love. And it's
Love,
oh how I
I
love to
love to
sing. Yep.
sing.
Oh how I love to sing. Oh how I love to sing. Oh, how I love to sing. And this is a good one for a frisbee. Oh, how I love to sing on the word love. Oh, how I love to sing. 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 You can also think up and over. Oh, how I love to sing. 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 So that was a high B. There's our B, right? Okay. Let's do our balanced onset one again. And Mrs. Pix, I'm gonna mute you just for a second because that little feedback came back, but that's okay. It's not you, it's me. All right, so just gonna mute you for a second just for this one because I really want you to be able to hear like the nya nya. So it's hung ah. And this is one where we're thinking, as a singer, this is going to be our clutch. If you've ever driven a stick shift, this is our clutch. This is our gas, right? So we're going to want a balanced onset, that even exchange between engaging the breath and then engaging here. Now, we don't want to overwork the clutch, right? Because that'll stall the car, give a glottal, like a g, hunga, hunga. The words are hunga, hunga. So we want to be thinking of that nice Pac-Man space in back. Hung ah. Our tongue is forward. It's touching your bottom teeth. So we want to think of that, like really relaxed jaw, relaxed neck, relaxed shoulders. If you have to kind of shake them out, shake out some stress, just let them drop. That's how we want to be, is nice and open and relaxed. So singing is more about releasing tension than striving for notes. Just kind of get used to that mindset that the more we can relax and let go, the more we will have that control that we want, that we're always looking for. Because we can't be really prescriptive about the controlling, here, or we start overworking the chords, and then if they feel like red hot and kind of just uncomfortable, and you can really wear yourself out if you're not engaging from the diaphragm. And you hear coaches all the time say, sing from the diaphragm, sing from the diaphragm. But where is that? And that's why we do like this trapdoor breath, this balloon breath, just to have that awareness of this huge muscle that's like a blanket under our ribs. Every time we breathe in, it kind of opens up like a trapdoor, and then it expels the air. So that's the mechanism of singing. So we have to have that energy on that release, right? And to have the energy, we have to release the tension. All right, got very philosophical. I'm gonna unmute you now, Mrs. Pixel, because I want to hear. So we'll do the hung ah, hung ah, hung ah. And we have an even exchange between that diphthong, that ah. Hung ah, hung ah, hung ah, hung ah. So it's not really a hung ya that you can use as an intermediary step if you need to kind of feel that. So what's your experience with this, Mrs. Pixel? This balance onset, that balancing the gas and the clutch.
It took me a while. It wasn't until 2 days ago in the challenge that it really finally kicked it into gear for me, and I started
Into
feeling
gear.
the vibrations in the back of my throat that you kept asking me, "Are you feeling this? Are you feeling that?"
The
And I was like,
tickle, right?
"Yeah." And I must have like had this huge, like what I would describe as like clearing a blockage or something, because now it feels like there's a reed back there that's just vibrating.
Oh, nice. No, that's awesome. I mean, that's awareness. That's that releasing tension and releasing, and very often when we think too hard about singing, that's where we can do the most damage to our voice, and have the least efficient singing, because we're trying to just manage every single motion. But if we have just these like awareness, that you can just say, okay, when I'm engaged with the diaphragm, I feel this tickle. When my soft palate is raised and then I'm engaging with the diaphragm, I have a much more optimal sound. I can sing for longer. I can sing without feeling like I'm damaging my voice. Because that too, there's a couple of musical genres that I still am just mystified on how people can do them, and can do them well and healthily, such as like the first one is like screamo punk. So like where you have like that screaming, but that's just a different type of training. We're not gonna go through that here, but I do have a couple friends that are in that genre, and they say, yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. It's how you are choosing to support. It's the sound that is most known in the genre, and how do we get that particular sound. So it's one of the beautiful things about our voices is that we can shape them, and we can just in very healthy ways find these different ways to resonate, in different ways to emote. And that's where this whole Laban piece comes in, is in that emoting and aligning our actions and objectives, and what is the meaning behind what we're singing. Okay, so
Kind of like
enough.
the programming your vocals, your muscle memory there too. With practice, the more you do it, the more it just kind of resonates with the way.
Yeah, practice makes progress, so don't be afraid of practice.
It just does.
Yeah. Okay, wait, what? Oh, I guess I have a meeting that I'm supposed to be at.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't see
Okay.
it on my calendar, but cool. Well, let's here.
Break.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For
mean, we're all warmed up.
low stakes.
What's that?
It's low stakes. You can.
It is low stakes. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this. Let me just a second, Mrs. Pixel. Would you mind just kind of talking about where we are in the song? I'm going to put up this little Laban, and I'd love for you to just kind of take the stage as I figure out what's going on. And
I'll run through the bonbons while you
yes,
talk.
the Laban bonds, amazing. So yeah, perfect.
Right. So, as I'm looking at the chart here, I'm thinking about the song that we're doing. And right now, we are, of course, doing our famous pair meme coins song that we have launched on major music platforms, which is Trials of a Pair. And so there's a great communal love for this song, as it has resonated throughout our community. And there's some attachments that I've grown very fond of this song. But as we break it down, because it is an AI track, we're making it more personal. And that Laban chart that you see there is helping to bring in that personal essence. So, what I'm realizing as I go through these motions of punching, pressing, slashing, ringing, dabbing, gliding, flicking, floating, it's like kind of looks like a word salad on the screen, but it's actually not, because it is directly connected to the physical. So it becomes more, as you digest this word salad, it becomes a part of your character and your performance, which is massive, because sometimes when you don't have that point of reference and you're singing, your thoughts can trail away from you. And that's, for me, that's something that I try really hard not to do. Sometimes you get emotionally involved in ways that you didn't realize. When you're performing, that can come out and take you away to places that could be confusing for your vocals to get in tune with. But when you can look at this chart and practice your singing phrasal destinations and line them up with a physical sensation for the muscles in your body, as you practice that, you'll retain that. So when you are performing, you're really, it's putting you on the edge of that note. Like Dan always says, you want to get on the edge of that note. And it just gives you that boost that you need and that focal point that your body really needs. So it's kind of a hack that I'm finding to be incredibly fun and useful.
That is so well said. I mean, you put it all together. I'm super proud.
Oh,
Yay. Yeah. See what she's learning in this challenge? It's amazing. So I just want to be clear. This is not a system that I invented by any means. This is something that I first learned in theater back in undergrad at Gustavus. And Natalia Baldiga was the professor that introduced it to me. And then I kind of fell in love with it. And then in grad school, I ended up taking like many more trainings and 3 classes with Rochelle Sakor, and just some, who is, she is licensed in Laban and Bartinieff. And so, can actually teach at a very deep level. But this is something that there's a lot of resources for actually online in the theatrical community, but we can apply it to anything. This class that I took 3 times of Laban and Bartinieff, each time you had to have a different focus. So the first time I took it, it was on singing, which is what we're doing. The second time I took it, it was on running. The third time I took it, it was on piano. And so I found ways to apply this very flexible system. You can actually, there were people in my class that applied it to economics. They applied it to sales. They applied it to marketing. They applied it to playing oboe. They applied it to sewing. So this it's an incredibly deep and rich resource that we can abstractly apply in so many ways. And so what I'd love to just show, and we can stay on for a little bit. I'd let the person know that will be coming ASAP.
Okay.
But it wasn't on my calendar, so I live by my calendar. And so we'll just kind of go through very quickly the this sequence that we did a few days ago with the first verse. I want to do the second verse. And do you have handy? Otherwise, I can get it on the screen really quickly. The whole lyrics. Do you have that handy?
For screen
Or
share?
first screen share? Yeah. Otherwise, I can grab it quick. Um, and so what we do is we take this, each lyric and break it down word by word. And like Mrs. Pixel said, we find those phrasal destinations. Where are we going? Where are we bringing the energy to? And this is all completely objective. It is, you can have some subjective moments of like, I think it's going to be this. But then you have that objective evidence, like why is it? Why are we going to the word trials, or why are we going to the word pair in this phrase? And you kind of look at all of the ways that the melody supports it, the ways that the actual phonemes that we're producing, the linguistics, the semantics, all of it comes together. Sometimes the grammar, a lot of times there are words that are like filler words, and so they're often not going to get text stress or be a phrasal destination because you don't like put all your energy into the word the. It would be like pair, the pair, as opposed to the pair. So we have a lot of these very important decisions to make, and we look at this atomic level of the words first, and then we see what weight, space, time, and flow combinations will best support. So do you have those? Otherwise, I have them on my phone, and so we can just kind of talk through a
Yep.
couple. We don't
In the
necessarily have.
window, we actually have it.
Oh, are you sharing them?
Here we go.
Nice. So pro. So pro.
I do
All
try.
right. You do. You do. And succeed. All right. So here's the trials of a pair. And we've already gone through Life as a Pairing and Sweet, Hang on a Branch and Heat, all the way down to that first chorus, Oh, the Trials of a Pair. So let's move past that and let's just investigate. We have every pair's got its fight under the sun and stars at night. All right. So here's what we can do. Can you copy that verse and put it in as a comment, or even in the private chat? Either way, then I'll get it on the screen and I can go back to sharing the Laban words. See, aren't we so fancy?
Totally.
So fancy. And isn't it nice that we can give ourselves pats on the back?
Okay, dropping it in the private.
There we go. Okay, got it. Nailed it. I'll put it in the public chat. We still have Lady Rocket here. Yay. That's exciting. All right. So here is what we're working with. And I'm going to go back to the Laban so we can have that help us with the work for the second verse. Every pair's got its fight under sun and stars at night. Life ain't easy on the tree, but it's the only way for me. All right. You know what I like about this verse is it's not AIE. So I don't think we have any fixing to do lyric wise.
Yeah, it's a beautiful verse.
It is beautiful, and it fits into that overarching theme of life's hard, but I've got grit, I've got tenacity, I'm a pair, So all right, so now let's break up this very first. We can even focus on just the every pair has got its fight, and I'll put that on the screen so that we can just focus on that. And let's break up this into, first of all, where do you think the phrasal destination is? Every pair's got its fight.
I would say pair.
Yeah, I think the melody really supports that. Yeah. Every pair's got its fight, you know? And it's kind of interesting that the word fight is, melodically and rhythm wise on this weak beat. It's on like the and of four. Every pair's got its fight, you know?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's being a little bit before the next downbeat because of the bluesy syncopation, and so it makes that word fight lose a bit of its fight, right?
Mhm.
Normally I would think like that's a punch word, like fight,
Right.
fight, or
Right.
a slash, fight, fight. It could like a fight. That could be an interesting one. But how would you treat the word pair? Is that going to be a punch or a press, a slash, a ring, a dab, a glide, a
I think
flick, or
punch.
float? A punch. Every pair's got its fight. All right, now sing it that way. I want you to just
Fight to the pair.
yeah, sing. So here's our G minor. Every pair. Now how does it sound like it?
Every pair's got its fight.
All right, now how does that feel?
Exciting.
That's awesome. It sounds alarming to me. Like, and so that's the power of the punch. So now I want you to go, just kind of, that was heavy, direct, quick, and bound. Let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and that's what this chart I set up in a way that we can kind of easily see. That's going to be a float, right? A punch is heavy, direct, quick, and bound. A float's going to be light, indirect, slow, and free. What if you did? This is now we're just playing. Now try pair with a float.
Every pair's got its fight.
Yeah, and so we're gonna start on every pair.
Every pair's got its fight.
Okay, how did that feel?
Uh, it felt easy.
Uh huh.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded soothing, So that's
Uh-huh.
the choice that you can make as a performer. Do I want to, get this like really angsty? It's kind of a surprise because every pair it's on a strong beat already, and it's the word pair. And when you put that punch emphasis behind it, it has this like, it's gritty. It's like
Right. Right.
I'm a pair, but this is no nonsense, and it's alarming to the listener, as opposed to every pair,
Hmm.
like I'm a pear. I've got a bunch of pears around me. I'm in an orchard, whatever. That's kind of the feeling of it, the way you sung that differently. And it's all we did is change one word. So now let's play another way. Let's instead of pair, let's go for the word fight, and let's try fight with a punch. So every pair's got its fight. Try that.
Every pair's got its fight.
Ooh, that was like a slash punch. You're like, every pair's got its fight. That was actually kind of cool, And that's what we can have two phrasal destinations that are linked like that. That's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay.
Perfect.
But the other way, every pair's got its fight. Phrasal destination is fight, and I want everything to float to it. We're going the opposite. Again, this is just playing around.
Yes, playing around. And my 3-year-old is playing around in the background too. So
That is
I'm
exciting.
a little distracted.
I
Okay.
love it.
Every pair's got its fight.
Great. Okay, so now I want you to float the whole phrase into the word fight. So we can
Every
start.
pair's got its fight.
Yeah. So definitely, it's a different experience, right? As a singer and as a listener, it makes it seem less drastic, and less. There's less at stake. Like every pair's
Hmm.
got its fight. Cool. Now try. Let's do a double whammy. If you do a ring on pair, and then do a dab on fight. Now we're kind of looking in the middle of the chart. Every
Hmm.
pair's got its fight. Try that.
Every pair's got its fight.
Yeah, that's totally different too, right? What was the emotional feeling of that?
I really like that. I like the dab.
Every pair's got its fight. Yeah, the dab was interesting. I didn't expect it to be interesting, but that's where we're going through this in low stakes practice. That we're just getting curious about this. Well, what if I did this? What if I did this? A lot of times when singers are trying to decide and declare what is my emotional take on this, we're looking at the whole thing, and that's what this whole system helps us break down. Like, let's handle one word at a time, and then let's do different combinations of these efforts that are behind it. And then, you obviously on stage you won't necessarily do like every pair's got its fight, but you could. If life were a musical, you might be doing that. But we bring that emotion into it, and it really helps us release the tension of, I don't know what to do with my hands, I don't know what to do with my energy. Like, this is what does this song mean to me? Can I reach that note? It gives us a way to kind of distract ourselves. Just like when I've asked you before, like, all right, now just start tossing something. Like, I usually just toss around my little uh, mushroom AirPod case, and you distract yourself. That's just a really good hack for getting past the mechanics of a note, and we can distract ourselves, and we don't think like, oh, that note's too high. We're thinking, nope, I got to catch the mushroom. And then the note just kind of flies out because we're releasing the tension. Okay, let's do one more, and then we should probably end it. But this is great in that we're getting into the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And I think I'd love to just end with you recording up to this point. So can we take a look at? No, I think, yeah. Let's record this. You trust yourself to just do what we've done before. And
Every pair has got its fight, and the only way for me to there.
yeah, and I would say we're gonna here. I think you have your Bandlab sharing, right? Let's just start at the beginning and then record up to that. If you want to go ahead and record this verse we just worked on, great. Or just record up to that. But at least get into the, like the every pair has its fight. We didn't work on the rest of the second verse, but that can be. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. But I do want to and let folks lab. And this is part of the free digital with each other. It's kind of a classroom. This is Bandlab for Education. Joining us on now. We did a whole lot on setting all this up, but Mrs. Pixel, when you're ready, I'm going to mute myself and then go ahead and just record as much of the song as you can up to that second verse.
Ready. Life as a pear ain't sweet, hanging on a branch and heat. Never know just quite why the good life's passing by. Tree above the cast its shade, beneath the skies slowly fade. In the garden, toil and strife has a tough old kind of life. Oh, the trials of a pear in the orchard's heavy air, destined for a basket cold, leaving stories left untold. Every pear has got its fight, under sun and stars at night. Life ain't easy on a tree, but it's the only way for me.
Amazing. I mean, I forgot I was muted. I was like, oh my God.
I got pretty distracted because it's hard to hear. It's so hard to hear where to come in.
Yeah, and that's what we'll focus on tomorrow. So now, we've got the Laban back in our toolkit, and we've got this working now. So I just wanted you to be able to show everybody. If you go down to where it says effects, you can put on some delightful reverb, which I think you have. So can we just listen back to that first little bit?
Yes.
I know. I every time we push play, listen to your own voice. It's a win.
Life as a parent sweet, hanging on a branch in heat. Never know just quite why the good life's passing by. Tree above the cast its shade, beneath the sky slowly fade. In the garden, toil and strife, pairs a thoughtful kind of life. Oh, the trials of a pair in the orchard's heavy.
Nice.
Destined
I know
for
there was the cop.
Yep. The frog.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, so I heard a lot of really great things. And number one, I think you have a really good sense of the beat where it is and where you can play with it, because you were that time what you really nailed was coming in with the trials, because we want to make sure that that word trials lands right on the downbeat. Oh the trials, you nailed it. I think you also really opened up more for the word orchard. So, as you're practicing this, what I would recommend is just thinking of the breath as spinning a little bit more, because you're still, I can kind of hear, a little bit of the, am I on the beat? Am I not? Just so for right now, just like do a couple takes, and we'll end the live stream, but for your homework, do a few takes, and really just one where you're blazing through and you're just hitting all those phrasal destinations and on whatever Laban word that you picked, so that we're really hitting that downbeat, and you have the energy all in service of those phrasal destinations you've chosen, and then also just where you have kind of do a go for broke take, where you're like, I'm going to put so much energy into this, and like this is going to be all like punches, and then one that's like all like slashes, and then maybe one that's like all floating, and then we kind of start analyzing what worked, what didn't work, what felt right, what didn't feel right, and treat it all as just information, and make observations, get curious, and then make more observations. All right.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so that's your homework, and for everybody watching, we're gonna end now, but we'll be back tomorrow for some more work on this arrangement. And it's just even putting the reverb on, doesn't it make it sound extra finished?
Yeah, that
Like
was nice. It
it's
wasn't
pretty
so
cool.
bad.
Yeah,
I
it's
was,
quite pleasant. Yeah. So as we continue to open up your sound, then you can you've already found your Julie. You just got to invite her to the party, open, and
yeah.
that has everything that you do it with. We it sounds funny sometimes with the take them out, because especially for the second verse, because we didn't change any words.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
but once again, thank you everybody for being here. And here's how you can join us if you'd like to join us in the how can I keep from singing community on nas.io. That is the QR code. Here is the URL for those more URL oriented. And I also want to put back up how you can support the pairs and their karaoke coming up Sunday in a couple days. On Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central. And then also, I forget to share this. I think I haven't shared it yet this week. But this is how you can support me as well. I'm sharing my go button, sharing my green. And so if you would like to support me, you are certainly welcome to. I would not turn it away. So, but the best way you can support is by joining the community and joining the challenge. So once you get into this community, that is free, you can join the free challenge. There is a suggested retail price that someday it will be, but right now it's pay what you want. So you can put a big 0 in there and you with us. and learning together, sharing our green together, sharing our development and our support. So thank you, Mrs. Pixel, for sharing your green, your go button, and becoming the co-pilot and co-founder of this challenge. I keep leveling you up every
I
time I
didn't
introduce you.
know.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're now the CEO. So,
Woo. Wow. What's next?
community organizer. We'll go. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but it's so nice to have you in
Pro
this
opera
community.
singer. That's what's next.
Pro
That's
opera singer.
the
Yes.
end game.
Yeah, we've got you singing at the Met next month. So get your tickets
Right.
now. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.